The golden age of Hollywood was a time of breathtaking glamour and unforgettable stars. We all know the iconic films and the perfect images sold to the world by powerful studio bosses. But behind the dazzling premiere lights and the carefully crafted press stories, there existed a completely different reality. This was a world of hidden desires and secret rules, a world where the personal lives of the biggest stars were meticulously controlled and manipulated for public consumption. The studios built these women up as goddesses of purity and virtue, figures to be admired from afar but never truly touched. They were marketed as the ideal American woman, often with a wholesome family narrative that bore little resemblance to their true lives. This immense pressure created a powder keg of rebellion and longing just beneath the surface of the silver screen. For the leading ladies of this era, their careers were entirely in the hands of men who demanded absolute control. Studio heads like Louis B. Mayer and Harry Cohn decided everything from their names to their public relationships. It was common practice for these powerful men to arrange lavender marriages for their gay stars or to orchestrate fake romances between their leading actors to generate publicity. A star's real love life, especially for a woman, was seen as a direct threat to her box office appeal. If she was seen with the wrong person or engaged in behavior deemed scandalous, the studio could and would ruin her. This system of control forced intimacy and passion into the shadows, creating a secret society within Hollywood's most exclusive circles. So, why would these powerful, successful women take such incredible risks? The reasons were as complex as the women themselves. For some, it was a genuine search for love and connection in a world that treated them as commodities. For others, it was a raw act of rebellion against the suffocating control of their studio contracts. It was their one way to reclaim a piece of their own humanity and make choices for themselves. And for many, it was simply about the thrill and the power, the ability to attract and be desired by other powerful, famous, or incredibly attractive people. Their secrets were a form of freedom, a way to live a real life outside of the celluloid fantasy they portrayed. Today, we are pulling back the velvet curtain to explore the true stories of 15 legendary Hollywood divas. These are the stories the studios worked so hard to bury, the passionate affairs and hidden relationships that defined their lives away from the camera's gaze. We will start with some of the most iconic names, women whose secrets have slowly come to light through decades of memoirs, letters, and confessions from those who were there. Their stories paint a much more human, and often more tragic, picture of what it meant to be a goddess in the golden age of cinema. This is the truth behind the glittering facade. Our first legendary diva is the beautiful and talented Ava Gardner. Known for her fiery spirit and a string of high-profile marriages to stars like Mickey Rooney and Frank Sinatra, Ava's appetite for passion was legendary. But her affairs extended far beyond her husband's. She was famously involved with the billionaire Howard Hughes, who was obsessed with her. Their relationship was a turbulent mix of passion and chaos, with Hughes tracking her movements and bombarding her with phone calls. Even after she ended their romance, he continued to pursue her for years, a testament to her powerful allure and independent spirit that refused to be tamed. Ava's list of lovers also included some of the most prominent actors of her day. She had an intense, well-documented affair with her co-star Robert Mitchum while filming The Riders of the Dutchman. The chemistry between them was electric and impossible to hide, even though both were married to other people at the time. She also shared a passionate connection with the bullfighter Luis Miguel Dominguez, immersing herself in the world of Spanish bullfighting for a time. Ava Gardner lived life on her own terms, seeking real passion wherever she could find it, regardless of the rules or the consequences. Next, we have the divine Grace Kelly, the epitome of icy blonde elegance who became a real-life princess. Before her storybook wedding to Prince Rainier of Monaco, Grace's love life in Hollywood was active and carefully concealed. She was known to have relationships with some of her most famous co-stars, including the iconic Bing Crosby and the handsome William Holden. Her affair with Holden was particularly complicated, as he was a married man, and the relationship was kept intensely secret to protect both of their careers and public images. It was a classic Hollywood secret of the era. Perhaps one of her most significant pre-marriage relationships was with the legendary actor and singer Frank Sinatra. Their romance was a hot topic in insider circles, though it was never confirmed to the public. It is widely believed that her relationship with the designer Oleg Cassini was her most serious before meeting the prince. Cassini had even proposed marriage. The studio, however, saw a greater opportunity and actively promoted her image as a pristine, untouched queen, making any public knowledge of these affairs a threat to the fairy tale narrative they were building. Her eventual marriage to a prince was the ultimate culmination of that carefully managed image. The stunning Rita Hayworth was famously dubbed the love goddess by the press, but her private life was a search for a love that always seemed to elude her. Her relationship with the eccentric billionaire Howard Hughes was long and tumultuous. Hughes, who had a pattern of pursuing Hollywood's biggest stars, was deeply involved with Rita before her marriage to Orson Welles. He was controlling and possessive, a dynamic that defined many of his relationships with actresses. Rita, however, was not one to be easily contained, and her desires led her to other powerful men. Her most famous marriage was to the genius director and actor Orson Welles. Their relationship began as a passionate secret affair while both were involved with other people. The chemistry was immediate and powerful, leading to a whirlwind marriage that captivated the public. However, Welles was also a notorious womanizer, and his infidelities caused Rita immense pain. Beyond Hughes and Welles, Rita's life was filled with other discreet relationships with co-stars and directors, each one an attempt to find stability and affection in a life that felt increasingly out of her control despite her global fame. Then there was Marlene Dietrich, the German-American star who openly challenged conventions both on and off screen. Marlene was famously bisexual at a time when such a thing was never spoken of publicly. Her affairs with women were some of the most poorly kept secrets in Hollywood, involving other stars like Claudette Colbert and the writer Mercedes de Acosta, who was also linked to Greta Garbo. Dietrich carried on these relationships with a daring sense of defiance, often dressing in masculine clothing and refusing to apologize for who she was or who she loved. Her list of male lovers was equally impressive and lengthy. It is believed she had affairs with co-stars like John Wayne and Gary Cooper. She also had a long-standing, intermittent relationship with the French singer Jean Gabin. Perhaps one of her most legendary conquests was President John F. Kennedy, whom she was linked to before his presidency. Marlene Dietrich operated by her own rules, collecting lovers with a sense of agency that was rare for any era, let alone the restrictive Golden Age. She was a true rebel who slept with whomever she pleased, making no excuses for her appetites or her heart. The enigmatic Greta Garbo spent her life famously wanting to be alone, but her reclusive nature hid a series of intense and secretive relationships. Her most significant and debated relationship was with the actor John Gilbert, her frequent co-star. Their on-screen passion bled into a very real and tumultuous off-screen romance. Gilbert proposed to her multiple times, and though she allegedly agreed once, she left him at the altar, a move that shocked everyone. This relationship, while known, was just the public tip of a very private iceberg. Garbo also had deep romantic relationships with women, which were kept entirely out of the public eye. Her most notable affair was with the playwright and socialite Mercedes de Acosta. Their relationship was conducted through a series of passionate letters and discreet meetings. Garbo's need for privacy was so profound that she went to great lengths to hide all of her liaisons, whether with men or women. Unlike Dietrich, Garbo did not flaunt her defiance, she concealed it, building a fortress of solitude around her personal life that has made the full truth of her romances one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Our final diva for this chapter is the brilliant Tallulah Bankhead.